Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. Alright, it's finally time to talk about one of the best animes ever created, and there's no debate, there's no argument. I'm just recommending this to you guys because I believe you deserve this in your life, and this will help you ascend and hit ultimate enlightenment. Actually, wait, hold on. There's something about comedies that are amazing. I don't understand it. Like, I love Gintama, and that makes sense why I like Konosuba, but isn't it weird how a lot of comedies that don't focus on shonen do a lot of shonen aspects wonderful? Like, that seems to be a correlation I'm starting to notice, and it's evident in Konosuba where they focus more on the jokes and the hilarity and establishing a world, and a lot of the jokes help build the world that we enjoy around us. I don't know, it's weird, and I think I'm starting to like other genres than shonen, even though I do mainly watch shonen, and the shows that are really memorable have solid other approaches to the shonen genre. But anyway, Konosuba, created by Natsumi Akatsuki. It has 2 seasons, 20 episodes, and 2 OVAs. It's a comedy fantasy isekai, and it has one of the greatest protagonists ever created. Like, Kazuma is one of the greatest. I don't want to hear no debate. He upfront, he real, he honest. All he cares about is the honey dips, and that's all he wants in his life. And I can respect that.
Aren't you supposed to give me something? I mean, look at me. I'm still in a tracksuit. I can't do what I gotta do in a fantasy world wearing clothes like these. Don't I get some basic gear to start with?
I have to also come clean. When I saw Konosuba, I wasn't necessarily interested. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't find it interesting. I was like, oh, this is just another isekai. And boy, was I wrong. And when I mean wrong, I was like dead wrong, because I had so much joy watching this, experiencing this story, and just enjoying the adventures that come for Kazuma. And Kazuma is such a great character with the inner monologues, some of the dialogues, how he breaks the fourth wall, and how he deals with other characters, and so much about the honesty of his personality.
今の俺は誰が相手でも負ける気がしない。おい、緊急事態だ。虫がいいとは思うが、ちょっとだけ休戦し。
I'm definitely gonna make a video on how to make a good shonen protagonist, because there's so many bad static shonen protagonists that it drives me insane. I didn't realize how starved I was for character development or for solid personality that showcases itself with consistency until I saw Kazuma, and then I got to see a couple other of my favorite shonen protagonists. Throughout this entire show, Kazuma is a degenerate. He's a NEET. He is just kind of a loser, but he has endearing factors that make him a good guy, or at least an anti-hero that you want to root for. But I love his personality is completely consistent throughout the entire show. There's never any outer character moments, and when he does something, he instantly is like, holy shit, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do this? This is why I stay the degenerate that I am. And it's so funny watching that. I love so much about Kazuma.
Popular ain't much of a selling point. Selling it for 100,000 doesn't help either.
What are these? What's going on with these boobs of yours? Did they grow bigger? You big boobs, show off! Cut it out! You get mad at me because they won't grow anymore!
Everything. Like, I can't not enjoy his personality, and I want more and more episodes of this. Only problem with this show for me, well, let me not get ahead of myself.
This is better than I thought! Jackpot!
Konosuba is a great show because you will definitely be entertained. There's no doubts about it. You'll love some of the ecchi factors. You'll love how every piece of his party within Kazuma's party for adventures, each one of them are useless, but somehow Kazuma makes them useful, and that is so endearing. Like, I love how he makes darkness useful. I love every time he gets her to do something, or he manipulates her, or he manipulates
right now.
Megumi, and I just enjoy all of it. Every piece of this story is consistent with Kazuma's character. It's consistent with him having some sort of ingenuity, having to get over that each of his party members are basically useless in their own individual and very destructive and idiotic ways. And I love the banter between him and Aqua. That is some of the funniest moments ever, because they're somewhat similar, but they're also horrible people to each other, and it's just so enjoyable. This show is always funny, and I have genuine laughs between each of the episodes.
カズマ、いいぞこの感じ。新発見だ。この物扱いされてる感じ。カズマは鬼畜だとは思っていたけど、これはあんまりなんじゃないかしら。
I think one of the most understated pieces of this anime is Kazuma has to overcome an issue. He has to overcome a personality flaw. He has to overcome so many different things. And throughout the story, he does have several cool moments. And I also love his internal monologue because it feels like he's a really real person. Like Kazuma is someone I could be friends with, but also like kind of hate, but enjoy his personality for who he is. Like he has some solid jokes. He has a lot of intricacies of his personality, and I love how he tries to adapt to the world, and then when he gives up adapting to the world, he tries to make the world adapt for him. Like he does so many different things. He does a lot of cheats, and as a man of equality, that joke is funny every single time. And I can't believe that I waited so long just to enjoy Konosuba, and I waited this long to actually talk about it.
俺が真正面からやり合うわけがねえだろ。長い付き合いなんだから理解しろよ、いた
Also, don't let me forget the animation. The animation is pretty solid. It's fun to see how the leveling system, the power levels, all these different things, and how they choose to showcase it. This show does a very standard isekai. You have your powers, you have your way of leveling up. It's like a normal MMO RPG, stuff like that. I enjoy these aspects because it's not the mainstay of it, and Kazuma doesn't have this insane cheat. Well, he could have had one, but he decided to take Aqua, and then it turned out she's kind of useless, even though she has a lot of good points that they abuse and they use for their own personal benefit. And I love that both these characters are scumbags. But back to the animation. The animation is pretty solid. It's interesting, it's vibrant, it's colorful, it's beautiful. I feel like anime picks and chooses when it wants to go hard on the animation, when it wants to really showcase the beauty of this medium. And sometimes they get it right and sometimes they get it wrong. And we know tons of anime that definitely didn't deserve the animation that they got. But regardless, Konosuba deserves everything about it. It has a lot of the great qualities of a great anime, and it probably is one. I just wish it was longer. I feel like this story could keep going on, and they barely scratched the surface of the world we're getting into. Even though we have some of the beginning settings, we have some of the understanding of the world. But I want to see what Kazuma will do, because he is slowly but surely getting closer and closer to the Demon King, even though we don't even know who the Demon King really is.
There it is. Go on, get to it. Wash that sucker. What you scared of? You mentioned my... Go on, it ain't gonna wash itself. And go easy on my... Be gentle.
Yes, there you are.
Let's go.
Also, I think it's hilarious that Kazuma dies, and that is an understated funny. Like, him just dying, and it's some of the stupidest way he dies. And I enjoy the fact that the story just continues to have him go through hell, have to deal with these unprecedented situations, or have to deal with him looking at himself in the mirror because he has to be faced with so many different moments in this story. This isekai is filled with so much joy and fun that I just can't believe it's no longer than 20 episodes. I know it has a couple movies, one of the two. I haven't seen them, but I'm debating watching it because I enjoy it so freaking much. Like, Konosuba is a joy. It's so great, and please watch it. Please watch it and just enjoy the wild ride that comes with enjoying Konosuba.
どうせこの後の展開なんていつものことでしょ。きっとランナーたちに私がひどい目に遭わされて泣かされるんでしょ。分かってるわ。
Now, let me talk about some of the bad parts. Some of the bad parts about Konosuba is it kind of gets annoying when they have no real goal or place they're going. I know it's a comedy and the goal of a comedy is just to laugh, but when you have shonen aspects, some part of me feels like there is a need for direction, but that's just me being spoiled on the idea of shonens having this big overarching goal. And there is a big overarching goal. Aqua wants to return to being a normal goddess that she was, and unfortunately Kazuma does not have the current power to actually achieve that, though he has the members to maybe finesse it in some way, shape, or form, but unfortunately he is not necessarily motivated by that. And it's really weird to try and see how they're going to finagle that, because Kazuma just randomly getting some inspiration to go back to the human world is not, I guess, in his character, even though at times he wants to go back. The story feels a little aimless, and that bothers me. And sometimes their side characters are a little too useless, and sometimes they drive in a joke that's a little too Though a lot of the humor is very solid, it lands, and the show does a lot of great things with such little usage of like Konosuba episode. It has a very defined aesthetic, it has very defined jokes, and it is very solid in what it wants to tell and what it wants to show. So that is my recommendation of Konosuba. How do you feel? Do you want to watch it? Have you seen it before? Do you love it? And do you just want to talk about it? Please let me know. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day and be easy.